and here we are.
Here we are. Good morning.
Three musketeers.
Yes, we
We have a
are.
special guest in the house with
Yes,
us
we
today.
do.
Cameo appearance right here.
She killing her mama though. Oh, I forgot to show you this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, she
that
punching you?
No.
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 We're just staying up too late looking at numbers.
When I
having
went
fun.
to bed last night, I looked up in the mirror and it scared me because it was really red. And I thought, oh, tomorrow morning I'm going to be real scary. But it's better today.
It doesn't look too bad.
It's better. Oh, it's way better today than it was last night. Last night when I went to bed, I scared myself a little. I shouldn't have even looked in the mirror as I was passing by. I guess it was scary. But so we are so excited today. So Donna came out Saturday,
Yep.
and oh my gosh, I think my bum has grown 12 inches from sitting so much. Flat butt.
Well, it's not like it's a job you can do while you're up walking around and moving.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, sitting there working on patterns.
I had so many books and so much mess to look through for inspiration and resources that Donna almost couldn't see me. So I had to clear space and put all that away yesterday.
My favorite part was when the dog wanted to get up on the couch and cuddle. And we're not talking a dog, we're talking dog. And he's pushing all the books out of the way and they're falling on, and she's trying to get them out of the way for him. And he wanted to be part of the design process.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was helping. He's real good with colors.
Yeah. Because he doesn't have any.
Just bland.
Just
bland. But we have it all designed. Oh.
And what we're talking about is second Saturday for next year. By
Oh,
the way.
this is true. Yeah, we didn't even say what we were talking about. We were
I
designing.
forgot to bring my notebook.
What notebook? Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
bring
we
it
were
back.
going
We'll
to give
bring
you
it
a
back.
sneak peek.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back because we have it all designed out, and we've even got 2 nights.
Couple months.
2 nights.
2 nights of
Two
it.
nights.
Kind of
we
scratched out.
That's just a number from out of my hat, I think. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we're
2 nights.
2 nights. I don't think that's even.
I don't think it is either.
That's not even a third, because 2 nights is not anything. It's not.
Well, and
She's making stuff
I know
up.
we talk about it, but let's talk about it on here. That
Okay.
you guys design our second Saturdays.
We do.
So it's unique. You're not going to find it anywhere else.
Right.
Now they are a little different between
Right,
stores, and
right.
this is the Donna that we talk about that's in Colorado all the time.
The daughter
and
Donna.
The daughter Donna. The number one daughter Donna.
Oh, number one. Now, not to be confused with favorite. Please, if any of my other daughters are watching,
Just number
this,
one because I was born first.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
When she
yeah,
sent that
yeah.
to me at first, she actually put it on my phone, and I'm like, "Oh, your sisters," and she goes, "Mom, I just said number one because I was born first." I'm
Yep.
like, "Yeah, you were."
I was.
So we do. We get together, and we've been getting together in the summers. How many years
plan
have
on
we done it
This
for?
is the
all
fourth.
of them? Have we
Well,
done it?
we didn't for the very first one I did with you. You'd already kind of started that and I jumped on. But
That's
then ever
right.
since then, since Land That I Love,
So 3.
yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
our third. This is our third one that we've gotten together for pretty much the better share of a week.
Yeah.
And we just sit and brainstorm. And Donna goes into EQ. I sit with my colors, my graph paper.
Her
and
coloring book. She says, "Where's my coloring book?"
I did. I lost my coloring book last night. It scared me for a second. But it really was only my graph pad with all my little
But
blocks
it's nice
colored
to
in.
be able to pop it into the computer because you can quickly get an overall look
Right.
of how it's going to be where you can't really. So it's a nice blend
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
because
It is.
she does a
There's
lot of that
strengths of
technical.
both.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. And so we work well together.
Yes,
We didn't even
definitely.
fight.
I don't think so.
Not yet.
No, not
No,
yet.
not
No.
yet. We're still-
We don't ever
we're still
fight on
friends.
it. We
No.
just, yeah.
We just listen to each other.
Well, I know,
That's
because
a
sometimes,
good idea.
yeah, or sometimes we're like, I don't like that so much. And sometimes at first I'm like, oh, but then as we work through it, it ends up being better
Yeah.
than what we originally,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah, it's a really good time. It's really fun to have. So these two. So Liz does my pattern testing for me. So this is a huge part of what goes on behind that scene. To
Well, and
get
there's
that
more
ready.
people beyond the scenes
yes,
too.
yeah.
It's not just the
Uh-huh.
three
Oh
of
no,
us.
no,
by
no,
any
no.
means.
Right.
So Donna has her Kathy at her store who makes her blocks for her, and then we have people here at the store. Lisa cuts the kits, packages them. Donna has lots of people that help her.
There's
do
there
that
are
part.
a lot there's a
There's
lot
a
of work
lot.
hours
Yeah,
that go
yeah,
into this.
yeah.
So many
So
work hours.
so that just to be said, when you sign up to do this with us, either at Village or at the quilt store in Colorado, you're getting a heck of a deal.
Yeah,
really are.
you
That's
are.
all I can say. With
It's pretty much our cost when we do, and really, if we
Not- yeah.
figured in
If you
all of
counted
the
in your
hours,
hours.
it's not at all.
No.
Everybody's hours.
But it's your passion project.
It is.
Yeah.
I think, I'm trying to remember if this one was our 9th year that we just finished or the 8th year that we just finished. Because we did it with Amy before. Remember, she did it for us for, I'm
Several
trying to
years.
remember. Yeah, I think maybe 4
so then you probably
or
just
5. She did it. We did it either 4 or 5. I can't. I
Yeah.
could go back and look. But anyway,
Yeah.
we've been doing it for a minute. We have a great following. Donna has a great following at her store.
yeah,
too.
it's really picked up
Yeah.
and people are just loving it.
Yeah.
The kind of skills that you build as you're doing this, I mean, that's our whole goal is that you just become better at
Better.
your craft. And there's no quilt police.
No.
There's no I have lots of gals that well, I didn't like that fabric that you picked, and they come in and pick out something else.
And that's fine.
Or-
and because it's so scrappy,
Yeah.
do we all have stash that we can?
Oh, yes.
Oh, maybe
Yep.
Yes.
perhaps a little bit. So, and we encourage people. Hey, just because it's a color that I like and love doesn't. I'm purple and pink. I'm not gonna like that. I did use those in last year, so
You
you
did,
guys
and
were
they
proud
looked
of me.
beautiful.
weren't you?
Yeah.
In the
Turned out
spring,
good.
you had to
Yep.
do that. I do love
Yeah.
our spring. Yes,
Yes.
I was, and I've said this over and over. I was a little hesitant about that one to begin with because
It's always
I
good
am
to get
not
out of
a
your comfort
pastel-y
zone a
girl.
little bit, though.
Well, and you know what? The more blocks I kept putting up on my design wall, I kept thinking, I'm liking it more. I'm liking it more. And by
Yeah.
the time it was done, I love it. It is a beautiful
Yeah,
quilt.
it turned
Yeah.
out so good.
But and so I thought, there's not going to be any place in my house to put this, right? Because I'm dark and dirty. In more ways than one. I'm just saying that poor house of mine. Oh, I could use a deep cleaning. Anyway, I thought, okay, but at the end of winter, when everything is just brown and gross and
Needs some
dead
color.
looking, how fun to just pop that up for a 2nd. It's not something that will be up all the time in my house, but how fun to just pop that up where you can see it and be like, look what's coming.
Spring is coming.
Yes.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are really having fun working on this new quilt of ours, and ours is going to be reproduction fabrics, which
I'm so excited.
dark and dirty.
Yeah, this is going to be right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah. Yep.
It's going to be
But I'm gonna take those same blocks and use bright colors.
Yeah,
So
I'm
So
excited
they'll
to
look-
see
it's
yours.
gonna be
Totally
it's gonna
different,
be
and that's good.
same blocks but
So-
different fabrics. It's
and
gonna be different look and
And here's the cool thing about that. My customer base is not the same as Donna's.
right.
So for her to be like, oh, Mom, I'm going to do this dark and dirty like you. Her people there wouldn't be as excited about
I mean, I
her
probably have a handful that would be. We do have a little section of that, and there's
Yeah.
there's
yeah.
some people that do.
Oh, they,
And I really I don't so much like working with those fabrics.
right. You're
But
much
I do
brighter. You're
appreciate
rainbow.
when I see like one of those quilts done. I appreciate it, and I love how they all come together. It just doesn't excite me to work with it.
Right.
So
Right. And if you guys don't know, the name of Donna's store is the Quilt Store in Broomfield, Colorado. The Quilt Store. The. Okay. And she has a beautiful website. So
Yeah.
bounce on there and check and see what she has to offer too, because different things than what we have here at the store. And they ship all the time. She has a cute little shipper. Good morning, Rebecca. She's a cute little gal that
does my
comes in and
shipping.
does her
Yeah.
shipping for
Well,
her.
and I think what you were saying about how your customer base thing, I took over this already existing shop, and they had been in business about 12 years, I think, when I took over. And I've been there now 3.5 years. And I feel like now it's like people that come in, like they really know what to expect and
Because it's changed.
what yeah,
You've done
it's changed a
amazing
bit.
things
It's
in
changed a
there.
bit, and I think it was, somewhat a little bit rocky at first because they had come to expect what it was before. And but I've had a lot of really
make
good
the change
feedback.
immediately either. You kind of transition
Yeah.
a little. Yeah, you still have some of those things that customer base really like
Right,
your
the boutiques,
and
right,
stuff, like,
right.
So
Yeah, boutiques are another thing that don't really excite me, but that, again, you have to go with what people are going to buy and
sells.
what people want, and they were really known for boutiques, so we still have a good selection of
you do.
boutiques,
Yeah, you do.
and
Yeah, you
and
do.
those sell well,
But
so.
she's really put her spin on it. It's a darling shop. If you're ever
It's
traveling
fun.
and you have the opportunity, please go in and say hi to my Donna. yeah, because it's good. So Donna's, excuse me, gonna leave Thursday morning. So there probably will be no sleep tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to get
got
this
stuff.
book
Get a
done.
few more hours in.
We've got some more stuff to do, but I really, when we started this, I just really didn't know. I didn't have my setting down right yet. And so I said to Donna, until I get that, I can't. I mean, I had been doodly doing and drawing blocks out and whatnot. I knew fabrics that I wanted to use, but I didn't know how I wanted to put the whole thing together. So part of the designing process is I first need that.
Yeah, you got to kind of know your layout.
You do. So then you can say, okay, this is how I want to do it. And I was really struggling. We got the whole center figured out, but I was just struggling with some other stuff. And I'm like, I went to bed, I slept on it, and I woke up yesterday morning and I knew exactly what I wanted to do
Yeah,
with
it was
those.
good. Well, and I have to say, I feel like this design kind of came together quicker than the spring one. The spring one, it seemed like it really took us a long time to figure out that
It did. It did. This
focus
one,
area and
this
stuff.
one,
So it went good. It
We
was good.
started working on it Sunday, and then, like I said, yesterday morning, I thought, because I just was struggling with the other things that I wanted to do on there, and yesterday morning, I thought, I know what it is, and so
Got it all fixed
we
up.
got it.
Yep.
We got it.
Yep.
We got it. We're
Well,
there.
and we have seasoned quilters who have quilted for a long time who still feel
Yeah.
like they learn new things, they learn new techniques, they might learn a new ruler, they might learn just a new tip or trick that we teach, and so that's what I love is people don't come and they go, oh well,
Not
I'm
this
gonna make
again.
a 4-patch. It's nothing like that.
No,
so
no,
but
no,
it's
no.
also doable,
Very
especially
doable.
broken into small chunks.
And with all the resources that we give them, like we do demos, we do 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4. We do 4 demos on the quarter hour, so 9, 15, 10, 11, 12, 15. Those aren't mandatory. You don't have to come to those, but
They are
there's-
sure helpful.
They really are. And we've done a video, like if it's a specialty ruler, there's a video. And Liz records, usually it's the last demo that we're doing, so you've got that. And we have a Facebook
Email.
group. We do
We have an email.
I
We have
mean,
the
do.
resources are just a lot.
And in both stores, you can always go into the store and get a little extra help there too. So we want everyone to be really successful with this. And it's like Liz said, it's doable. Nothing is so hard that you can't do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes Donna and I were talking about this with this quilt that I'll show you in a second. How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant?
Yeah.
I don't eat an
don't eat
elephant
elephant.
because I think
I
they're
don't eat
amazing
elephant.
creatures. But I mean, if you
I don't
were to
think they
tackle
taste very good
something,
either.
yeah, I don't know, and they might hurt you
Yeah.
if you were
Tried
trying
to
to
take a
take
bite.
baby bites.
Yeah.
Baby bites, same thing.
Yeah,
with
I don't know
the-
where that saying ever came
Yeah,
from,
we'll have
right?
to do a little research on
Yeah.
that. That's an
Let's do it.
interesting
I
little-
know. How do you eat an
If
elephant?
you think about it, really.
You don't.
You don't.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
But sometimes when you go into a quilt store, I think we look at a quilt and we're like,
Ooh, I can't
I
ever
can't
do that.
ever do that. And here's what I say to my people that come in and tell me that. I'm like, okay, but wait a minute. I'm going to back you up a second. Let's look at this. Can you make half square triangles? Oh, yeah, I can. Okay, can you make flying geese? Oh, yeah, I could do those. Okay, can you do ba 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 ba? Oh, yeah. That's all that block is.
Yeah.
Break it down by the pieces that are in the block, and I think you'll surprise yourself. I think you will be like, well, darn, I do have those skills, right?
Yeah.
So don't ever get discouraged, and don't ever stay in that same little rut. Like, oh, all I can ever make are just can't cut it quilts. challenge yourself a little bit. And that's why I think this is kind of a good opportunity to do this. It's not a huge investment to do it. We're still working on figuring out the price. So it's not a huge investment to do it. Like I said, it's really probably less than our cost. So when we figured our cost, that was just materials. We didn't count anything at all into that about
Labor and time and hours.
Yeah, none of that was figured in there. But again, I'm pretty excited about how this one is turning out. I think people are going to love this.
They're going to love it.
Different.
Yep.
It's
definitely
different.
different than what
exciting.
we've done.
It's different.
So at Donna's store, you can sign up right away at the quilt store, and at our store, you can sign up shortly. So we will let you know as soon as signups are live, and we will be sending out emails and stuff like we normally do. But
Still
hopefully
the same
soon.
rules. Still the same rules. You do
gotta
have to
show
come
up.
into the store that second Saturday with your previous month's assignments finished to get the next one free. Otherwise, we're still going to keep it at $5, even though that probably should be revisited because price of fabric has gone up.
It
The
really
tariffs are
has.
on there now. Shipping has gone up.
Yeah.
They're killing us, small businesses. But you know what?
Yeah.
We're going to
We're
hang
keep
in
plugging
here.
in.
We
One
sure
bite
are,
at a
man.
time.
Let's check in really quick. We've got Marianne from
Oh,
Florida.
Miss
Thank you
Mary
for
Ann,
joining.
Florida. Good morning.
And
Good morning.
Carolyn DeCarlo, she says, hello, funny friend.
Good morning.
And Marianne says you collaborate together, and absolutely they do. Absolutely.
We do. It's a group effort. What does it take to make a quilt? A village.
A village dry goods.
Or a quilt. Or the quilt store.
Kathy Keeley says, good morning, ladies.
Oh,
I
Kathy.
love Second Saturday.
I know,
I've learned
Kathy's-
so much.
Yes, Kathy's from my shop. She's so
Yay.
good.
Thanks
She's
for
been helping
joining,
me,
Kathy.
and thank you, Kathy, for helping us make samples.
I
and
heard
she's
Miss
amazing.
Kathy is an amazing quilter. Donna shared
exciting.
with me.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
she's
So good
been a
morning,
great,
Kathy.
great
for
help to
joining.
us.
Thank you for helping my daughter.
Yes, thanks, Kathy.
We all need all the help we can get.
Yes, we do. Yes,
And
we
then
do.
some.
And then some.
That's fine.
Yeah. So we got just a couple show and tell things.
It's a hot month.
It is
a
hot.
hot month.
Firecracker.
But wasn't the 4th of July lovely? Of course, we were in Idaho, but it was a little bit chilly. I had to go buy a jacket.
Wow.
We didn't need jackets here.
Oh, I did. I had
It
to
was
go buy a
warm,
jacket.
but so it was cloudy. It even tried to sprinkle a little tiny bit of rain, very little, earlier in the day, and then the sun came out and it got warm. There were no jackets needed down
My
here.
kids, I'm trying to remember what night. It must have been the 3rd. They came down for fireworks. Was fireworks here on the 3rd? I don't know. They didn't come to our family reunion with us. Anyway, they got dumped out at the fireworks. They got rained on at the fireworks here in Brigham. So, but it was, I want to say it was the 3rd.
Well,
Yes, it was
It
the
was
3rd.
the 3rd. They did fireworks on Thursday night. That's
No.
weird.
I don't remember. No, it was the 4th. It was the 4th. You're right. Anyway, last week's time was super weird for me.
Donna and I have been saying that every day. What day
What
is
day
it?
is
I know.
it? Yeah.
I couldn't
What
keep track.
day
Anyway,
is it?
I think it rained that night during the fireworks. So
It might
anyway.
have later
You might have already
on.
been in bed.
Probably with my earplugs. Oh my gosh, the 5th, the night of the 5th, the fireworks were even louder than the 4th. We got a
They were
neighbor
right by our house,
Oh
yeah.
my god,
Yeah.
and they were not legal.
They
It
were loud
sounded
ones.
like my windows were shaking. It was
It was
it was
really loud.
loudy, and my poor dog
Oh, I was gonna say.
he does not like the fireworks, but he does better than some dogs, so he did fine. He's still alive, and he's still big, and he still jumps on the couch and moves my stuff. Well, so here's the thing about the couch. Donna was sitting on his spot, actually, because he has
Oh.
we share the sofa. Well, I share the sofa with him. Okay,
You share
2/3.
his
I get a
sofa.
third. I share his sofa. So Donna was on one cushion. I was on another. So it left a cushion, right?
Yeah.
He can't fit in a cushion.
Oh, he does, though.
He just
does.
jumps right up there, put his bum right on Donna, and his face is on me, and the books
Books are going everywhere. Yep.
It's okay. It was fun. But back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Hot month.
Hot.
July.
Very.
Patriotic.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, and really, I feel like all summer is to me.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I think
All
like
summer,
Memorial
very
Day
much.
to Labor Day is
Yes.
all.
Yeah.
Yes. You
Pick
could
Red, white, and
red,
blue.
Red, white, and blue.
Yes.
You can wear white pants.
I don't.
I don't think I
don't.
have any white pants,
No.
actually.
If I have something
get too
white, even a
dirty.
white shirt, I just stain it the first time I wear
Right.
it. So I've just avoided white shirts
Yep,
in general.
yep.
White anything.
I have white shirts. I love white shirts. I probably have more white shirts than any other
I
color.
stain. Well, I have a
But-
couple, but I just stain them. I'm so.
But
I don't know.
no white pants.
Yeah.
Because I feel like my pants get dirtier than my blouses. I
Yeah,
know.
well, you sit
I
on
know.
stuff and bump stuff and all
It's
that
true.
stuff.
But we
Closer
have,
to the ground.
we have something so cute to show you that Miss Lizzie has been working on.
It was
just
so much
for
fun.
A week, right? This lady came in last Tuesday.
Yeah, I've done it in a
and,
week.
And showed us her darling patterns. Oh my gosh, this gal is so talented. I want you to be watching. Her name is Pam. And I want you to be watching for some classes that she's going to be doing for
fun.
us. Some really cute, different things. Like she's
Yes,
got
very
this little
different.
wool felt nativity. Oh
She's
my
got some
gosh.
really
Oh, that's the same girl.
Yes,
oh,
it's
that
the
is
same
that
girl.
was really
oh
cute.
my gosh.
Yeah.
So some different things. She's gonna do some little. They look like little stained glass. Her little
Yes,
postcards. She's
yellow
gonna do a class on that.
postcards.
She's gonna do a class on the nativity. She's got
Got a
several.
beautiful paper piece Halloween pattern that we're gonna
it's
do.
so
That one's really
cute.
cute. So
It's
she's
really
very talented.
Very, very talented. And so she's agreed to come out and teach for us. But when she was here, I'm gonna bring this over here.
Yep,
She brought this pattern in, and Miss Liz loves flags.
I do.
She
I
really
love it.
does.
Okay, show the mini
And it
one.
No,
No.
start with the big. Show her big
Start
one
with the
first.
big
Well, so this is the designer's sample that she brought in
Okay.
for us, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's
That's
beautiful.
really cute.
So pretty. That is
Super
gorgeous.
cute.
So then, Miss Liz, tell us about this.
Yeah, I made that one. So that's the big one in the pattern, and it is 7 inches by 21 inches. So it's
Doesn't
small,
sound
it's
very big.
doable. It's two log cabins and a star block, and I love the way she did her stars. She
I
did
do
some
too. Look at
overlapping
this.
flying
Look at
geese.
this close.
I've never done anything like
Is
that,
not close?
and I
Is
love
that close?
it.
And- yeah, that's good close.
Oh.
Isn't it?
Isn't
so
that kind of
cute?
fun?
Yeah.
Isn't
I
that
really
fun?
like
I
that.
do too. I just think
That's
that is
fun.
so fun.
But then in the pattern is a small one.
Ooh.
It's the cutest thing in the world. It is 3.5 inches by 10.5 inches.
That is
And
so cute.
I was super excited to make that one. And talk about a scrap buster. If you just buy this pattern and you could make that. I think this is a cute mug rug.
vanity.
I don't exactly know where I'm gonna put it or hang it or what I'm
And
gonna
this is
do.
a really great mug rug. You know why?
Why?
Because you can put your coffee on one
Oh,
side,
and your
and then it's big
water.
enough for a long john.
Perfect.
This is a long john mug rug. I love me a long john. I must have not had breakfast this morning.
So you can see them next to each other. They are the same.
They are the same.
So
but isn't that
cute.
But they're so cute.
And the directions for both sizes are in her sweet pattern.
Yes, yes. So you can make both of them, and
Might need that
almost
pattern.
out of the scraps. So if you buy the kit, so we'll have the kits available soon. But if you buy the kit for this, almost out of the scraps, you could make this. You might need a little bit from your stash, but because
Good to know.
because these are just small pieces,
Right.
These are just small
So
pieces.
cute.
And we
And in the kit, we were going to give them a big enough piece so that they could choose where to put it
Yep.
in their block. So
Yep.
that's why.
Oh, yeah,
you're saying-
yeah.
Yeah.
So
nice.
you can do pretty close to
Nice.
this if you love both. Some people don't love this. But
I
this
do.
was doable.
Well,
I
they
loved
must
it.
not like long johns.
I loved
Long
it.
John, that is so cute.
So while I was making it, I had the thought to show you guys this, and I think we
I
might
love
have shown
this.
this before, but this is all my white on white scraps that I brought from this. And I don't know how well you'll be able to see this on camera, but this is a
Amazing.
black light flashlight, and I just got this on Amazon. For like
Amazon.
$2.
Yeah.
I mean, really
Super
cheap.
cheap.
A pack of 12 for $6 or something,
Yeah,
$5.
they were
I
cheap.
can't remember, but fairly cheap. Great, cute little gifty thing for your little quilter friends. So if you're working on white, which it's difficult sometimes to see depending on the lighting in your sewing room or the time of day that it is, or even the print. Some prints
Yes.
are easier than others.
Yes.
But you can shine the black light, and we'll see if you
We'll
can
see. Let's see.
So I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you can. Do you
Look at
see
that.
how
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Do you
Sure
see how that
can.
ink lights up? And then I'm going to flip it over and see how there's no ink that lights up.
So then you know that you have the right size.
So you know that you have the right size. And honestly, I'm sure I've made projects with white on white and had some be turned around. And I don't know that I noticed.
There you, I was
But-
going to say, and it's okay.
But if you're doing something with a lot of white on white, or I actually really love white on white. I think it just adds so much. Just such a
It's
fun.
not just a flat white.
It's not.
Solid
interest.
colors, yeah, solid colors are just kind of.
Yeah.
So I have another white on white hack.
Tell
Oh,
us.
yes, please.
So if you want, I wish maybe I could use my phone. Once you get your quilt all together, you still really don't see that white on white as much. But if you want, once your quilt is done and you want that white on white to really pop, put black batting in there. And the black shows through. And
But does that make it look kind of
no,
gray?
it's
No?
amazing.
Really?
It's amazing. I mean, it is going to make the overall look of your quilt a little bit darker. But then it highlights those. So let me
then
see
Really?
let's see if, well,
Could we do with my computer?
maybe if we did if you put like a,
Can you see that? I can't see now, but
oops. Yeah, I think that kind of helps. But you'll see a difference. Like, it's subtle. It's not, like I said, because the black batting. So the first time I found out about this was we did a fundraiser quilt. So we had a class and we had a teacher come in and teach reverse applique, and they were making Hawaiian quilts. The reverse applique with the big snowflakey looking Hawaiian designs, and it was reverse applique, and she used a white on white print for the underneath.
Okay.
So, and then the blues and greens on the top. And then she brought it in to have us quilt it, and she said, I want to use black batting. I'm like, why would you put black batting under white fabric? And she goes, because it makes the white thing pop. And so we laid it out and put it on. It was amazing.
Oh.
Amazing.
Dang, I wish I would have known to do that. Of course, I don't own black batting. Would have never even had black batting. I would have had to find it.
We have black batting here.
Do we?
Yeah, we'll come in and do a test, then have them lay out a white batting and a black batting, lay a piece of white on white on it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's
I'm
really
gonna have
cool.
to make another mug rug.
No, a long john.
A long
John
john
rug.
Long john
John
rug.
rug.
I'm gonna have to make that and then try that black batting. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really
Cool.
See
Thank
what
you.
happens when you bring guests with you.
Phew, I earned my
did it.
keep.
She did it. I'll take you to breakfast and buy you a
Oh,
long john.
I get a long john.
And I don't know if you guys can see, on my little
love
thing, it has this tag that says, Moms, don't take.
Because Ren probably has
He
helped
does.
himself to a
In
black
fact,
lighter,
I
too.
was showing him this last night when I was working on this, and then I thought to bring this, and he grabbed it. He looked at it. He thought it was so cool. This is my 8-year-old, and he goes, "Why does this say moms don't take?" And I said,
Why do you
"Because
think?
you
How many do you have
think
of my
things
black
are
lights?
cool, and you take things." So
And then I go to look for them and I don't have anything. Doggone it.
That would be a good idea to put on your scissors too. Don't
that's
use on paper.
my kids know. My kids know. Although I did have one pair of scissors that my older daughter, who should have known. Nope, it was Maisley.
Desperate.
Oh.
She,
Not your
it's
oldest
okay.
daughter.
I have more than one pair of scissors.
Yeah.
I was putting some away in my drawer the other day because I have a scissors drawer.
I have a scissors drawer too.
Plus the ones that are up on my cutting table. And I went, you probably don't need any more scissors. But you know what? When they come out with another pretty pair, guess who's going to buy them?
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be me. Choose me, pick me. It will be me.
I do have the ones from Tula Pink that they say, like, don't touch this or don't cut paper or
Oh,
what do
fun.
they say something on it? But those are just decoration. I don't use them.
She
My
doesn't
kids
even
don't
use
use
those.
Yeah.
No, nobody uses them. So, we were talking about how you eat an elephant and how you do a quilt. You want this? I want this one. I'm going to show you.
This lovely.
So, it's not bound yet. It will get there. But, okay.
Oh, so pretty.
It doesn't matter, sweetie. It is longer than it's. Yeah, there you
There
go.
we go.
There we go. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
that is just
can you
gorgeous.
see? Okay. I love this quilt. I had to take the sample home and do it because first of all, it's Renee Nanneman Fabrics, which I love. She's an amazing designer. You know, she stopped designing fabric for a while and I got really sad.
Oh.
She writes amazing patterns. She's been back for a while. She designs actually for Andover Fabrics, which I love their fabrics. They make such nice fabrics, and it's a nice company to deal with. So it's a win-win all the way around.
Perfect.
Everything is perfect. Anyway, I decided I have to make this, right? Love churn dash blocks. I love them so much. I decided
96 of
to
them.
make 96 of them, right? 96 churn dash blocks in this quilt. So as I was sitting there making them, I talked to Donna every morning on the phone, and I said, oh my gosh, this is so boring. This quilt is so boring. I'm so tired. But I kept going. And then I had to sew them into blocks. And then I had to sew the blocks into rows. But if I were to do something, if I didn't have to rush and do this as a store sample and get it done really quickly, I would make those churn dash blocks as my leaders and enders, because then you're not getting support. Now, all of those, well, not all of them. There were some you did as sets. So some of them, there are like 3 that are the same, and some there are 4 that are the same. But it's still, you know, you still used a lot of different color combinations, but I get bored easily.
It's the monotony of when you're just
doing
the
you just feel like a
same.
machine. And I did this really well. I'd like to say quickly, once I started sewing it, I did get that part done quickly. I have had it for a while at my house. But if I were to do something like that, because I love the quilt, I think it turned out beautiful. I love the churn dash.
It's gorgeous.
But I did not enjoy it as much just sitting there and I'm gonna make another churn dash. Okay, that's number 3. Only 93 more to go. All right, I got this. I don't like to sew like that. I really like to enjoy it. That's why I love sampler quilts, because it's not the same thing over and over and over again. You're using different fabrics, you're using different patterns, you're using different components to make those blocks. Those are my very favorite. And scrappy samplers are my most favorite quilts in the whole wide world.
I think that's why people say when they find out you're a quilter or they're talking about whatever, and they say, oh, I would never have the patience to make a quilt. I think that's what they're talking about. I think they think about the monotony of like making the same thing over and over. I guess maybe, I don't know.
Or all the parts of the process from start to finish. I mean, that really is.
It feels overwhelming.
There is a lot to do. And as a new quilter, I remember feeling very overwhelmed. And there was parts of the process that I loved and parts of the process that I hated. And now, over the years, I don't hate any part of the process. There's parts that I'm better at. There's parts that I do enjoy more. But I don't absolutely hate anything.
Yeah.
So do you know how many different parts there are to being a quilter?
There's a lot. If we really thought about it.
There are a lot. So what do you have to do very first of all? First of all,
You have
find
to
a
have
pattern.
some money to buy some fabric.
Good one.
This is true. The resources are important. Yeah.
But you want to find a pattern that you love, right?
Yeah.
That's what I do first. Now, if it's someone else's pattern, once I find that pattern, before I go out to find myself fabric, I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to first take a black and white picture of that pattern, because I don't want, and now I don't really even so much have to do that because I've done it for so long and I know the colors that I love.
Right.
But in the beginning it would be, okay, take a black and white picture, and then you're not influenced by someone else's color choices.
Good point.
Because if you're making something, well, that's not a good example, but if you're making something and say someone has used colors that aren't your favorites, 2 things are going to happen. First of all, you're not going to like that quilt when it's done because they're not your colors. And you're not going to like sewing on that, again, because they're not your colors. So sometimes I make samples for this store and I'm like, okay, I have to do this. It feels more like a chore than something that you enjoy. And quilting should be something that we all love
I think
and enjoy.
I think we run into that issue. I find customers sometimes have that problem when they're making it for someone as a gift, then that person has asked for specific colors, or they know that person
It's
likes
hard.
colors and it's not really their favorite, or they give them this fabric and say, I love this fabric, make me a quilt out of this. I was gonna say, you go with the pattern first. Sometimes I start with I find a piece of fabric I love.
Yeah, the inspired.
And then I have to find the pattern
Yeah.
that's going to be perfect for that fabric or
Well,
something.
True, because if it's a really big print, I'm not going to choose a pattern that's going to
Chop it all up.
because then you can't see how beautiful the print is. But I generally start off with, okay, I want to make this pattern, and then you get to go shopping for fabrics.
That's
Whether it's
the
in your
best.
stash
Yeah.
or to your favorite quilt
Store.
store, or stores, because a lot of times you can't find
Everything at one place.
right. And I've run into customers at other stores, and they are so embarrassed for me to, and I'm like, oh please, I'm here.
Yeah. Right?
I own my own place, and I'm here. Don't feel
That
bad
happened
about it.
when you came out to my house last fall and we went to one of the other local quilt stores on the way home from the airport. I'm like, oh, we got to go stop in Brighton and visit Anna, because I love Anna, the shop owner there. And so we go in there and we're visiting, and there's like 3 or 4 customers that come into my store too, and we're all, hi.
Yeah, and
They
they're
were
just
like, what are you doing here?
like, oh shoot, she doesn't think I'm loyal now. She knows I go elsewhere. Yes, please go
Yeah,
elsewhere. Spread
yeah.
it around, because you're not going to find it all at once. So now you got to go shopping for that fabric, right? So then once you go shopping for it, then you have to cut it all up.
Yeah, and cutting. Yeah, it's important.
Cutting
to cut.
is another huge step.
And it always takes a little bit longer than I think it's gonna take.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Well,
I spent a whole day cutting that quilt. A whole day.
And you know what? That first step is really crucial.
Yeah.
But
And how your whole quilt is going to come together.
don't cut out your whole quilt before you make a sample.
Yeah, make a block. I usually like to do that
And
too.
read the whole pattern.
Read the pattern
Read the
first,
words, not
because
just the pictures.
a lot of times I will change up that pattern.
Yeah, me
if
too.
they're doing those flying geese, that nasty old way with the rectangle and the squares,
Nope.
oh heck no, all day, every day I say no. So I will read through the pattern before I start cutting and say, okay, maybe I'm going to do my flying geese, this method that I like better, because I'm always going to get my points. If I do it with that crazy rectangle, I'm going to chop those points.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm a pretty good quilter, but there's something about me, and there's so much waste in that.
There
There's
is.
so much waste. And not that I don't have fabric that I could waste, but I choose not to. I want to use
Well,
all
and
my fabric.
even you read through it and you're like, oh, they tell you to make your even just a simple half square triangle a certain way.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Add
I
that
always make
extra
my half
eighth
square
of an
triangles
inch.
this way, so I'm going to do this, and that might determine how you cut your fabric
It
out.
will determine
It-
how you cut
yeah.
it out, and it may also determine how much fabric you need. So I always go through a pattern first and figure out, okay, I'm going to do this, and if I'm making this many flying geese units, I'm going to need this size piece. So I always check that. Okay, so now we've cut our fabric all up, right? Now we get to sew it. Before I cut it, I starch it though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I did with this fabric? Don't ever do this.
No. Wait, did you wash it?
No, I don't wash my fabric. I know I'll bite me in the butt someday, but not yet. No, I put it in my sink because it was a lot of fabric.
Oh, and just dumped it all.
Yeah.
And then I put it in my dryer to dry.
Oh, I've done that.
No,
It
you're supposed to
doesn't need
hang
to
them.
be
You
that
got to
wet.
hang them out.
I don't have a place to hang all that
Yeah.
fabric. And then that took forever to get them all starched. And then I dried it, and then I had to iron like crazy.
Oh
woman.
yeah, you would.
But
Don't
I mean,
do that
even if
ever
you
again.
sprayed them, you're still ironing too. So you would have had to do that anyway. The ironing part.
Well,
Maybe it
and
was a little harder to iron out because you'd had them. It was
in
too
the
wrinkly
dryer.
from the dryer.
Yeah, I don't know, but and I thought I'm just gonna put them in the sink. I'm just gonna dump.
Not your best
favorite.
plan.
Some people love that. So
Some
people have
people
really
do.
different methods of starching, but that's not my method of starching. But
Then once I get it pieced, then what am I doing? I'm gonna pass it to Roxy and say,
quilt my check.
Quilt my
book.
check.
"Hey, Rox, I'm
Yeah,
gonna need
yeah.
this one quilted,
Yeah.
please." And then once it's quilted, trim and then
Trim
you
it
get
and
a
bind
binder.
it.
Look at all those steps that
Yeah.
you're doing to make a quilt.
Yeah, and the binding,
You
I don't
should
know
enjoy
why.
it.
For me,
love
once I
it.
piece the top, it feels done. It really feels done. But I do like to finish it all the way. But then the binding, sometimes I just put it off and put it off and put it off. I think it was a couple months ago. I probably told you guys. I think I sat and bound like 6 quilts in 1 week because I had just let them pile up, and I had the binding made on several of them,
Yeah.
and I just had to sew it on and take the time.
So binding to me is kind of bittersweet. I love to hand bind. I love it. But it's kind of sad because then it's like, okay, this quilt that I've birthed, that I've done all of these steps, once I'm done binding it, I'm not going to be handling that as much. You know, then it's either going to be here hanging or it's going to be in my piles of quilts.
Your piles of quilts.
It's not sad for me.
Oh, it's very sad
I'm
for
very
me.
excited to get it
Get
done
on, get on to the next one.
because I've already got 6 more things in
Oh, well,
progress.
I
and-
usually have those in
So-
progress too, because when I bind, it's just in the evening after I get home from work or whatever. But it's kind of a little bit bittersweet for me because then it's just done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Well, we've got a bunch more comments.
Oh,
so
what
let's
else?
look. So Marianne says, I lost all of June. Where did it go?
I
agree.
know,
Right?
I feel like it.
Gosh, half
Totally.
the year. We're over half the year already. Stop
Crazy.
I know. Pam says, working on month 10. Pam Davis.
it. Pam! She's so fast and so good. That's our sweet
Wow.
friend that does samples for us, you guys. She's amazing. She's such a beautiful quilter. Thank you, Miss Pam.
Thank you. Cindy Healy says, looking good.
hi, Cindy.
She loves the
Mwah, mwah.
overlap
Yeah.
stars, and the name of the pattern is the mini flag quilt. She says, I think I need that.
Mini flag banner.
So,
Mini flag banner.
Mini flag banner. Sorry.
Mini blah, 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 blah,
Blah,
blah.
blah, blah. Roxy says she could see the black on the computer, and she said
good.
it works. So
Oh, good.
We'll have to
good.
give it a try, Rox.
Yes, we
yeah,
will.
Yeah.
Jordan says, good morning. Hi,
Good morning,
Fran. Hi,
sweet
Liz.
Jordy. I'm glad you're feeling better, Jordan.
And I think Ren is watching.
Oh, good morning, sweet Ren. Ren is going to be a special guest very
soon. We've got to work out the
Very soon.
details on that. Yes, he is going to be. And Cindy says, love that quilt, Mama Fran. So she's talking about all your traditions. It's going to be gorgeous.
It did turn out beautiful. I love it. I do love it.
Cindy says, oh, getting bored easily. Now we know where Donna gets it.
This is our Cindy that
doesn't
knows
far-
us well. Knows us
Apple doesn't
well.
far fall from the tree.
No.
I'm like, oh, I'm bored with that. Let's start a new project.
Start a new one.
I love starting new
I'm
projects.
Starting a new one. I have so many new ones started. I just need to finish one or two. I need to reward myself. I need to figure out a good reward for myself for finishing something.
Other than starting 5 new things.
Yeah. Maybe I finish something and start 4 new.
Go get a Long John.
I gotta take Lizzie's Long John mug.
Long John mat.
We gotta have a Long John mat for that.
Jordan says she picked out the backing for her quilt yesterday.
job,
And that's exciting because I usually don't buy my backings when I buy my kits. And so getting to pick out the backing is a reward.
Oh my gosh, yesterday
Yeah.
at the kids class, we bopped over here for a second and looked. Those little gals, one little gal's got her quilt ready to put the binding on it. Heidi's cute little granddaughter.
good.
Oh my gosh,
So
you guys.
cute.
It's so fun to watch those girls over here
Yep.
in this sewing class with Sim and Carol, and they do
Good.
such a great
They
job.
learn a lot. Cindy
They do.
says, great tips. She never thought about taking a black and white photo, so that was a good tip. Cindy says she's the same way about binding. You're the same way like Fran, you get sad. You're the same way like me that you avoid it.
Just set it aside and do it whenever, 6 in a week.
I think she puts them off.
Like me. Okay, good. I'm glad to know that it's not just me. Kathy says labeling is the worst for me. And don't look at me for labeling advice.
All right.
I'm always so excited when I do it, and I just don't.
In all my quilting, and I've been doing this since late 70s, I've only labeled 2 quilts. And I've done hundreds and
Yes, you
hundreds
have.
of quilts.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. We gotta, and we say
That
we're
one doesn't
every
have
year.
one
You
on
and
it.
I say we're gonna be better,
I know
and we
that
just
one
don't.
doesn't have one on it.
Um,
Put one on. And, okay, well, wait a minute. Labeling your quilts. Let me give you a little tip on that, okay? I have heard of people's quilts being stolen,
Yeah.
right? Okay. If you are a labeler, which we all should be,
Yeah,
we really
yeah.
should be doing, and not just because somebody might steal it, but maybe some of these quilts are going to be heirlooms. Now, most of my quilts that I make that are going to be thrown on the ground, whatever, they're not going to last. Nobody, but generations from now, if that quilt is still around, wouldn't it be nice for those people to know
Yes.
a little
Yes.
bit of information on it? I have a beautiful red, white, and green quilt at my house that is from the mid-1800s. That came from Stan's family. We have nothing, no information. We have nothing. We don't know.
And what you wouldn't give for that.
Exactly. I would love to know which one of his ancestors, and maybe if they even bought it somewhere, if they didn't even make it. They didn't buy quilts back then, but you know what I mean? It would just be nice to know who did that, when did they do that.
So give that
Just
gift to your
anything.
great grandkids.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, so we had at our last long arm meeting at the shop last month, one of the gals did a talk about labeling, and she makes a lot of quilts that she ties certain memories to, either
Yes.
life events or whatever. And so I just got a new perspective on labeling from that, because she would put details about that event or whatever, and it was more for her to remember when she looked at that label on that quilt, to bring up those memories of that time that she was trying to do through the quilting. And I never looked at it that way. I always thought it was just so that future generations knew, and I'm just like, whatever, they're gonna forget about me anyway. I don't need to do that or whatever. But it was more than that. It was more, and that was a cool new,
Like a journal.
you know,
yeah.
aspect of it.
Sometimes, for me, sometimes quilting has gotten me through some really rough times. And I think that would be like, I have a little notebook that I've written a couple of things like that in, but it's not with the quilt. It's not, it was just for me. Because quilting is so therapeutic. And I think, not only happy times, but sometimes when you're just in that little deep, dark place, it's quilting it's good. It really is.
It's good for
But
all the things.
a good thing to do when you do a label, have it either sewn onto your back, tacked onto your back, so that when it's quilted, that label gets quilted into the quilt, so that you can't pick
removed.
it off. Yeah, and so I mean they could, but they're going to have to unpick machine quilting, and I don't know, thieves might.
Yeah.
We all know how crazy that is, but label your quilts. If for nothing else, like I look at some quilts now that I've done, I'm like, now what year did I do that? Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Or
Even
like
for
we
myself.
get done with the shop sample and take it down from the pile for whoever made it can take it home. When
Right.
we're done sampling, we're like, oh, your quilt is in. She was like, did I make that? Right? Like, even just in the time the sample sold, they can't remember we made that quilt or not. That's bad.
We put signs on ours
Yeah.
because when we take it down, I'm like, who made
that? I know.
Because we don't all label it.
We don't always remember.
Here, Pam does a good job. Pam does a nice job
Nice.
of labeling her quilts. She sure does.
Good.
So Jordan said, it's the backing for her kids' quilt. So Jordan, I want to see it. So
Jordy,
that would be
we're
exciting.
excited.
Ken and Ren are watching.
Oh,
so
good morning,
thank
Ken,
you.
too. Thank you for joining.
Cindy says she does avoid it. Thank you, Cindy, for being
what I
like
thought.
me. I appreciate you.
See, Cindy knows me, but I know her too.
That's our girl.
Carolyn says just enjoy the process, and that's true. You
Yes,
just got to enjoy the
yes.
process.
This
Every
is
step of the way.
Absolutely.
Jordan says, Fran, I need help with that. I've never done that before. Is that the labeling process that you need help with? We can
Or
give
the
you some
binding.
ideas. Or
Which
I'm
one,
not
Jordan?
sure.
Let us know which one, but we're happy to help with either one, sweetheart.
And then Cindy says, hi, Donna, from your sister Cindy. And Jordan says, I haven't put the binding on yet.
Okay.
Oh, so it's the binding. Yes. Yes.
So,
yes. and
I'm-
Jordy's got a mama that's an amazing
She
quilter,
does.
too. So
She
you've got
does.
all kinds of resources, sweet
gotta
girl. So
help.
we're all happy to help you.
Yeah.
So good. Well, I'm late for work.
Oh, and we're late to get home to get some more stuff done.
But
for
first,
Second
Long
Saturday.
Johns.
Oh, first a long
Yeah.
John. All right, I'll take you for a long John. All right.
Man, we could chat for hours, you girls.
I know, we're
really
crazy.
can have fun.
We
Crazy.
But
really
thanks
do.
for joining.
Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us. It's supposed to get really hot this week, so everybody
Perfect
kind
quilting
of,
weather.
Perfect.
Maybe we need
Go
Long
out
Johns and ice cream.
Yeah.
I don't do ice cream.
Well, that's what my daughter says. What do you want for dinner? It was a couple nights ago, and I says, I want ice cream. Like, I don't want to cook.
I know.
I don't want to turn on the
It's so
oven. I don't want
hot.
to turn on the
Cold,
stove.
yeah.
I don't want anything in the microwave. I don't want anything hot.
Hot. Mhm.
So,
It was ice cream dinner, and the kids were like, yeah!
Mom,
They were up for it. And no one argued that night.
Mom is great. Gives us ice cream.
So everybody have a great week. Do some sewing. If you love to get out in your garden, do it early in the morning when it's not too hot, and then in the afternoon, sit into your house a nice
sew.
air condition and quilt like
Yep.
and yes. So thank you everyone so much for joining us. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next
We
week.
will. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.